I did make a matcha in preparation for making this video because tell me why I'm tired and it's 9:30 p.m. It's actually 8:30 p.m. I think this is really telling of the stage of life that I'm in, because long gone are the days where I woke up at like 12 p.m. and started my day at like 2. Now I'm like expected to be in office at 8:30 in the morning. First topic of conversation, post-grad life. You know, honestly, it hasn't really hit me that I'm gonna be done with school in a week. Like, it's starting to kind of bubble, and then I'm understanding that like graduation is a week away, but I'm not really understanding that this is like the last time that I'm gonna be in an academic setting like this until, or if, you know, I ever go to grad school. It's like a double-edged sword because I want to be done. Like, I'm kind of like done being a student and not doing what I want with my life, or feeling like constrained, like I'm working around this already like set schedule. I kind of want to know what like I can do with my life without that structure. Like, I want to know what I build for myself. Like, what do I do with my free time, basically, is what I'm really excited about. My whole life has just been full of structure, whether it be school or extracurriculars. And yeah, I know I'm gonna have work, but like, this is a little bit different. I think, you know, people definitely get a little crisis-y, and I don't think that that's like invalid at all. Like, I think that that's totally valid, but honestly, like, I feel more excitement than anything, and I know that that is like a privilege to feel excited. Like, I know it is a privilege to kind of know what I'm doing, you know, already have a job lined up. This job market is fucked. It's just fucked. That's all I have to say. Like, it doesn't matter what you studied. It doesn't matter how smart you are, what college you went to, and like literally none of that fucking matters. The job market is shit. Like, it's just shit. The whole world has been honestly flipped upside down. And, you know, I can sit here and be like, I don't want to start working for the rest of my life. But like, that is a privilege. Like, that is a privilege right now to be like, wow, I have a job. But in all seriousness though, I am very grateful for my job. I talked about it a little bit in my last vlog, but I currently work as a social media coordinator, which I feel like is pretty fitting. Never would I, well, no, I can't even say never, because I have always been a believer in myself, and I always was like, I'm gonna do something with photo. I just didn't know what I was gonna do. And it's really cool now that like my job is to like create and make things look pretty and aesthetically pleasing. I love that like there's so many different mediums to my job. Like, I do graphic design, I do photography, I do videography. And what's so awesome about my job is that my manager is also an ex-artist. She was a newscaster, a journalist, if you will. And so being able to bond with her over our love for art and just like the creative process in general has been really, really rewarding. I'm sorry. If you see me looking over in the corner, Alfie is going crazy right now. He gets zoomies around this time, so... he's so sweet. So for me, post-grad, I'm actually really excited. I'm really excited to see where I go. I was talking to my mom the other day and I was like, it's actually so crazy that like I'm gonna have so much disposable income for like the first time. I've always had disposable income. I've always been really great with money. I actually did just make like a finance tracker. I'll put like a screenshot over here, because now that I'm like gonna be like in charge of like my rent and everything like that, like I really need to make sure that I'm budgeting correctly. I'll link that below if anyone wants to use it. I made a template. I feel like financial literacy is super, super important. I also recently read, what was it called? I think it was like How to Be Rich or something. That was a really great book. I was actually able to find a free PDF of that over winter break, and I read that, and that is how I started getting into credit cards and really understanding the importance of investing my money and making my money work for me. This book was amazing. So easy to understand, so easy to read, and I think that it's a great introduction into kind of getting the basic groundings of everything financial literacy. Yeah, but I'm moving out. I'm moving out. I'm not like moving out because I'm literally staying here. What's so awesome about my post-grad transition is it's really not that big of a transition. The only thing that's changing is that I'm not going to school anymore, and I'm just going to be spending all my time where I currently work. I'm just transitioning from part-time to full-time. I'm excited, but I'm also like, what do you mean I'm not going to see my parents? When you get older, like, you just don't see your parents as much anymore. And like, I only live like 2 hours away from them, so it's really not that dramatic, but I'm like, what do you mean I'm not doing this because the cameras are on? It's just crazy. Like, you know, like I was like a kid and I just remember being like, oh my God, like I can't wait to move out. Like I can't wait to move out. And it's, then you like move out and you're like, what do you mean? Like, I'm never gonna live with you again. It's just like understanding that like time is so limited, especially when like you're with your parents, and it's like, you know, like I want to travel and I want to live in all these different places, but like I can't imagine like living more than 2 hours away from them and like it being like even more difficult to see them. Like I feel like it's already like kind of hard to see my parents, and they're only 2 hours away. It is really sad, but also it's really beautiful at the same time, because I feel like our relationship is so different now that like I'm older and I'm like able to sustain myself, and like they trust me to sustain myself. I was always a pretty independent person. Like even when I was a baby, like my mom would try to like bottle feed me and I would like hold the bottle and she'd be like, what the fuck? Or like I'd close the doors for myself. Like I always did everything for myself. Like we're not like having this push and pull anymore of them being like, well, I know what's best for you because I'm the adult, and I'm like, no, but I know what's best for me too because I'm independent. Like now we both are adults and they trust me to be independent. And so I think with that mutual trust and also just, you know, getting older, our relationship has really changed, and I feel like a lot closer with them now. Like I feel like me and my mom especially like are, why am I so emotional? Like, but yeah, I just feel like me and my mom have gotten like a lot closer, and like I really appreciate her and like the role model she was for me growing up. So I don't really know what made that cut. I don't really know what I'm going to keep in, so I'm just going to transition this into talking about motherhood, getting married, all of that stuff, the next big milestones. I don't think I'm gonna have kids. If you know me in real life, I talk about this a lot. I actually have a lot of moral and ethical problems with having kids. I'm also just like really scared of pregnancy. Like I actually like don't want to do that like at all. I fear that I would get postpartum depression, and I feel like postpartum depression would get me. I do not think I'm winning that fight, and honestly I love myself and I don't really want to put myself through that. I actually had a conversation with someone where they asked, you know, if I would do surrogacy. I think at the end of the day it's not even just being pregnant. I think I have a moral problem with bringing a new life into this world, especially with everything we're going through politically, economically, what's the word, fucking like climate change. Like I have no clue what this world is going to look like in 50 years, if we're even going to be living like good quality life, and I don't want to bring someone into this world not knowing that they're going to have a good future here. And I don't want to like bring a kid into this world and then be like, oh, by the way, like the world's on fire and like your water resources are kind of draining and they're definitely contaminated, but like I'm only gonna be alive for like 30 more years, so I'm gonna be okay, but like you're just gonna have to figure it out. Also realize that like DNA is like not a thing for me. Like I do not need my kid to be biologically mine for me to be like, that's my kid. Babysitting like really solidified that for me in my heart. Like those are my kids. Like I would die for them. We're not related by any means, like we're not blood, but like I treat them like they're blood. So like why would I create a whole new life when I could just adopt someone who already exists and give them a better life, when I know that like DNA isn't a deal breaker for me when being a mom. And what's so amazing about that option is like I also don't have to worry about a man. Like I don't have to worry about a man in that situation, because every time I think about having a kid, it's always me and this little girl, and it's me and her on the couch. We're like giggling or whatever, we're watching TV. There is not a man there. And when I mean like there's not a man there, like I'm not like, oh, like he's just not in the vision, like he's not in the room. I mean like I am a single mother. Like there is not a man near this child. What's so funny is I've been like that when I always envisioned my future. There's never been a man there. And that's not saying that like I don't want a man or that I, you know, would be opposed to being in a relationship, but it's not like a end all be all for me. Like I feel like I'm so concerned with my individual experience, and a man is not in that. But I guess like since we're on that topic, dating, ooh la la, dating is rough. Dating is rough out here, but I'm also saying that as someone who is not dating. My viewpoint on dating right now, or I guess just dating in general, I think I've always been like this. Some of you who've been around here or know me in real life, I was in a relationship for a good 2.5 years, and it was lovely. You know, I had a great time. I think that was like the healthiest relationship. Not I think, like that was definitely the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. Did it end healthily? different conversation, that's fine. But you know, I came in on the other side, really grateful for it. I feel like I grew a lot. I think we both became who we wanted to, and I think that's really beautiful. I think that we're just very two different people now, and it's that saying of like, you know, you outgrow people. That's not a saying, but you know what I mean. Like, you outgrow people. I'm really happy for him that he is the person that he wants to be, but I do think if we were to meet now with the two versions that we are currently, I do not think that we would ever be together. And I think that that is such a testament to how powerful time is, and also just timing in general. I think that we were in each other's lives for the short amount of time that we were for a reason. And then, you know, when we obviously broke up, like, that was also for a reason, because we're just no longer compatible. Hello? Do you want to sit there? Okay. You can sit there. Okay, he distracted me, so I don't really know where I stopped, but I haven't been on dating apps or really focused too much on dating. I think I've just been like focused on creating a life for myself. I remember when me and my ex broke up, I got a lot of questions being like, oh my gosh, like, are you gonna date around? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna get on dating apps? And I remember I told people, I was like, you know, I very much so could, but my biggest fear was always like leading someone on. Like, I never wanted to use someone else as a way to fill this void that I had from this other person. Like, I wanted to be able to come at dating from a healed space and from a space of, okay, like, you're adding to my life, not like you are fulfilling me in any way. I think I just get really scared about the idea of leading someone on, because that is like not cute, it's not mature. Hi, baby. Do you have anything to say? Okay, no, this is not a toy. Yeah, online dating, not for me. I haven't tried it, if I'm gonna be honest, so I can't really say that, but I already feel a little bit weird even just like thinking about making an account. I think I told myself I was gonna make an account like 3 times, and it just never happened because I never actually wanted to do it. Like, I'd always be like, okay, like maybe by January I'll do it, or oh, maybe by summer I'll do it, because then like I'll definitely be healed, and like maybe I want to have like a little fling or do whatever. I never found it appealing. I feel like it's very transactional, it's very instant gratification, where I'm definitely someone who needs a little bit more of a slow burn. I need to know you as a person before I can even decide to like you. People I've dated in my life, like, I had already known for basically a year, or, you know, 6 months at the very, very least. I feel like a lot of people, which to each their own, but I feel like a lot of people settle. Because they're like scared of being alone, and I feel like that's valid. You know, your fear of being alone is valid, but at the same time, you know what's worse? You know what's actually worse than being alone? Being with the wrong person. Oh, that's actually like hell. Sometimes like people, they know they're with the wrong person. Like, they know that this relationship is a dead end, but they're so scared of being alone or restarting that they stay. And I can say that because that might have been me. That might have been me for a good 3 months. That might have been me. So I feel like I have the right to say that. It's gonna feel lonely. Obviously it's gonna be uncomfortable, but would you rather be uncomfortable for like maybe a year max, or for the rest of your fucking life? That was a bar. I'm sorry. Some people need the wake up call, okay? Oh, there's this quote that I love so much where it's like, if you take the wrong train, the longer you stay on that train, the more expensive the ride home is. What? If you're on the wrong train and you're like, wait, but like, maybe if I stay long enough, maybe it'll get me to my destination. Bitch, the train does not care. The train is not changing tracks for you. The train is going where the train is going. So the longer you stay on the train, the further away from the place that you actually want to go, you're getting, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna suddenly change for you. You're on the wrong train. You have to get off and you have to go back. I feel like I touched everything, so I'm gonna do a little lightning round. Some things I've really been into recently. Journaling! I've been really into journaling recently. I've always been a journal girl, but this year I've actually started doing like prompts, where I like look up prompts on Pinterest or whatever, and I write about a specific question or a specific topic, whereas before like it kind of was just like brain dumping, and that has been really helpful for me for like introspection and figuring out like why my brain works the way that it does. Whoa! Hey, bub. No, that's my matcha. No. Okay. Yeah. I've also really been into Amy Poehler's podcast. I don't know if anyone else is listening to Good Hang. The episode she did with Catherine Hahn was so healing. I feel like it was just really comforting because I feel like I have a lot of friendship anxiety and insecurities, and being able to hear these two famous, hilarious people talk about how they only have like 3 or 4 close friends really made me feel seen and know that, like, you know, that is the normal. I also watched Past Lives like maybe 2 days ago. I put that off for a really long time because I was like really scared. People were like talking about how emotional they got when they were watching it, and so I was like, you know what, I'm fresh out of a relationship. I don't think I can handle that right now. So I didn't watch it until 2 nights ago. And I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think we're romanticizing it a little too much. Like, I think I had that concept and understood that concept when I was 13. But like, that's okay. That's okay. I think it was still a very beautiful film. I just like felt really uncomfortable the whole time because I was like, they're just emotionally cheating all over New York. Like, you were emotionally cheating in public. And it was like almost worse that like they weren't talking to each other. They were just like staring at each other. Like, they were just like staring at each other and not talking. I'm like, you guys are literally having sex right now. Like, you're having sex without actually doing anything. Like, you're undressing each other with your eyes, and I'm getting uncomfortable. And like, okay, the husband, W husband, like, he actually was so secure, and like he was able to like talk about his insecurities while still holding space for her and understanding her as an individual. My favorite quote from that movie though was, he was like, I like you because you're you, and who you are is someone who leaves. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, girl, because we're not gonna put a man over our career. That struck a chord with me because I suck at leaving, but when I leave, I do leave, okay? When I'm gone, you will never hear from me again. Sorry, I gave you like 500 chances. What, you want 501? Greedy. I feel like you can progressively see my eyes close over the course of this video. Even though I have drank like a lot of this matcha, I do not think that it is doing anything. I do not know if any of that was coherent. I think that that is the joy of filming these videos, is that I kind of just rant. But I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you feel seen. I hope you related to at least one thing I said. Maybe. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Open for discussion. But I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon. And I'll see you in the next one.